At the New Year's Eve party, my pineapple juice was switched with beer, and I had just taken cephalosporin that day. Note: cephalosporin is an antibiotic. Mixing it with alcohol can cause severe side effects. I was barely rescued, but my wife shielded the person who made the mistake. Let's just drop it, be generous, he didn't do it on purpose. I wasn't planning on letting the man who had been ambiguously involved with my wife off easily. My wife frowned and interrupted me. Enough. He just graduated, he's just a kid who doesn't know anything. Why are you holding it against him? Would you only be happy if you ruined the rest of his life? I was disheartened by my wife's protectiveness. Then you two can live together. What do you mean you two live together? David, can you stop being so petty? What's wrong with a boss caring about her subordinates? You're slandering the two of us, and you've ruined a perfectly good New Year's Eve party. My words hit Sarah's sore spot, and she roared defensively, her guilty conscience showing. I sneered and gently retorted, "Oh? So your care is extraordinary, exceeding the love for your own husband. When I collapsed at the party, you took a step back, didn't you?" Sarah was stunned by my words, then composed herself. I could tell she was suppressing her anger. "David, I know you're upset too. I will punish Kevin and give you a satisfactory result. As for calling the police, it's completely unnecessary, he just graduated from university. How are you going to punish him?" Having woken up after a near-death experience, I felt like I saw everything clearly, and a dull pain throbbed in my temples. I interrupted her rambling directly. Sarah was taken aback, then mumbled, 3 days' pay will be deducted. I almost died, and you're only deducting 3 days' pay? I couldn't believe it and almost laughed out of anger. Enough. He didn't do it on purpose, and he's just a kid who just graduated. How much money could he have? He still has to pay rent and live. This is already serious. How is he going to live next month? Sarah's face turned extremely unpleasant. She just wanted me to stop, but I had no interest in talking to her anymore. I took out my phone and prepared to call the police. Just graduated? Sorry, once he's an adult, he has to be responsible for his actions. Just as I was about to dial a few numbers, Sarah grabbed my phone and hung up, yelling angrily. Do you have to ruin his future? He's so young. What does he know? I just want to tell the police the truth. He knows what he did in his heart. I frowned and was about to snatch back my phone. The atmosphere in the hospital room suddenly froze, neither Sarah nor I willing to back down. Knock, knock, knock. At that moment, there was a knock on the hospital room door. The person who opened the door was actually Kevin, carrying a gift basket. He had 2 tears hanging appropriately on his face, and he entered the room with slight restraint and fear, bowing and apologizing when he met my gaze. I'm sorry, David, it's all my fault, I'm really very sorry. Kevin, come and sit down. Seeing that it was him, Sarah quickly invited him to sit down, took the gift basket, and patted him on the shoulder. Look at you, why are you spending so much money? David is fine, why are you crying? Don't be afraid. I'm sorry, Sarah, I've caused you trouble. It would have been better if he hadn't said anything. With that said, Kevin's eyes turned even redder, as if he was really frightened. With that sob, Sarah felt even more sorry for him. When his eyes were filled with tears, he looked up at me, his eyes full of smugness. I frowned and was about to tell him to stop acting, when he suddenly knelt in front of my hospital bed and kowtowed, crying as he spoke. I'm sorry, David, I'm really sorry. I didn't know you had taken medicine. Switching the juice with beer was just for the atmosphere. I really didn't mean anything else. Kevin, what are you doing? Get up. Sarah was stunned and went forward to pull him up, turning back to scold me when she saw my expressionless face. He's already like this. You still don't believe him? David, how did I not realize you were so cold-hearted? Forgive him now. Don't make things difficult for this kid. Kevin, get up. Sarah doesn't want to see you like this. I won't get up. David won't forgive me. I won't get up. Kevin was in tears, kneeling desperately to beg for my forgiveness. I just felt a headache and was too lazy to watch him act. Seeing that I was still unmoved, Sarah came up and slapped me in the face. David, You bastard. Slap. Everything happened so fast, and my right cheek was burning with pain. Sarah's slap completely shattered the last bit of affection I had for her. Sarah and I met and fell in love at the university. We were classmates in the finance program. The university's finance program is one of the top ranked in the country. Those who could study here also had connections and backgrounds, but Sarah was different. She relied purely on her own efforts and planned to start from scratch in the future. So that tenacity in her almost instantly attracted me, and it was no accident that I was able to be with her. I pursued her, and I learned a lot from her. My family didn't think highly of Sarah, and even chose an arranged marriage partner for me before graduation, thinking that I was just playing with her and would eventually go home. But people are always rebellious, and the youthful spirit of that time can no longer be stirred up now. I broke up with my family and chose to be with Sarah. Now it seems that we have been married for 3 years and together for 5 years. In these 3 years, Sarah's career has been smooth with my help. She used to protect me in front of me like she protected Kevin today, scolding business partners who looked down on me and forced me to drink, and cooking a meal for me in the middle of the GHT. I really thought I could spend the rest of my life with Sarah. Life got better, but the relationship was not what it used to be. Ever since Kevin started working at the company as an intern assistant, Sarah's attitude towards me took a sharp turn for the worse. I heard that she took the initiative to have Kevin transferred to her side. Since then, she has often been on business trips and worked overtime, and she always took Kevin with her, calling it training his abilities. I don't know where this ability has been trained. As a result, there have been rumors that Kevin was having an affair with Sarah in the company for the past few months. I was distracted when another slap hit me without hesitation. I raised my eyes slowly and looked at Sarah, only to see her gritting her teeth and saying word by word, "David, accept Kevin's apology immediately, or I won't let you live in peace in the future." "Sarah, don't hit him. Don't argue because of me." Kevin waited until she finished hitting me before speaking to stop her, then he stood up decisively with a look of determination on his face. "David, since you still don't want to forgive me, then I'll just turn myself in. I'm willing to atone for this for the rest of my life." After saying that, he rushed out of the hospital room before we could react. "Kevin, what are you doing? Don't do anything stupid." Sarah hurriedly chased after him, and before leaving, she didn't forget to threaten me. "David, if anything happens to him, I won't spare you." The hospital room door slammed shut, and the room finally became quiet. I took a deep breath and just felt tired. Of course, Kevin couldn't possibly turn himself in. Everything he did today was to intensify the conflict between Sarah and me. Only Sarah would believe such an obvious scam. Sure enough, Sarah posted a message on Moments a moment later, with a picture of a landscape not far from the hospital. She wrote, "I will protect you for the rest of my life." She didn't BLOCK anyone and posted it so openly. After she chased him out, she never came to see me again. I guess it was because I was already out of danger and there was no need to come. I sneered and was indifferent to her subtle provocation. I had my stomach pumped last night and couldn't eat anything right now, but I didn't want to stay in the hospital, so I discussed with the doctor about being discharged the next day. I packed my things and went home, and found Sarah was also there. "You're back?" Sarah was sitting on the couch. The smile on her face disappeared the moment she saw me come back, and she was cold and indifferent, without even asking how I was doing. She didn't expect me to come back suddenly. She was probably in a good mood, but her face fell as soon as I opened the door. It was really a marriage in name only. "I'm back," I answered casually, my attitude also indifferent. At this moment, I realized that her sitting posture was a little subconsciously tense. I frowned, and the next moment I heard the sound of shower water coming from the bathroom. There was someone else at home. Who's taking a shower? Even though I had a vague guess in my mind, I still had a glimmer of hope when I asked the question. Who knew that Sarah's face would turn ugly and she would force herself to explain? "It's Kevin. His home has been without water for a week, so I picked him up after work to take a shower. Don't think too much, the water really is out." "Okay, I'm not thinking too much." This made Sarah a little strange. She looked at my face repeatedly, trying to find a trace of anger in my expression, but she didn't find it and breathed a sigh of relief. You can actually figure it out, and you know how to not be pretentious. It's really rare. Pretentious? Is that what she thought of my behavior all along? I didn't answer and went straight back to the room. I dragged the suitcase out of the closet and started packing my things silently. During this time, Sarah didn't come in to see me. After packing my things, I realized that I had so few things after being married to her for so many years. I'm not a particularly materialistic person. I left everything that Sarah gave me and everything that we shared over the years. I don't want it anymore, and I don't want to remember it. When I came out again after packing, Sarah was already blow-drying Kevin's hair. She was kneeling on the couch, chatting and laughing with Kevin. Looking at them like this, they really looked like a loving couple, and I felt like I was superfluous in this home. Sarah's back was to me, and the sound of the hairdryer was too loud for her to hear my footsteps, but Kevin saw me the moment I came out of the room. He slowly raised his eyes, revealing a smug look, and curled the corners of his mouth. It was as if he was saying, "See, you can't win against me after all." I was expressionless. I didn't want to win, and I didn't think I had lost. I just quietly watched Sarah patiently dry Kevin's hair, her expression gentle. I don't know how long it had been since she had used such an expression on me. It turned out that she didn't lose her temper at me when she got home because of work pressure, but that her tenderness was all used on other people. The hairdryer was turned off, and Sarah turned around and saw me. Her expression froze, and she quickly explained, "I'm just drying his hair for him. I'm afraid he won't be able to dry it and he'll have a headache and be late for work tomorrow." "Okay, you don't have to tell me everything," I answered casually, my tone indifferent. It was just this sentence that gave Kevin another chance to chime in. His expression was a little timid. "David, you probably don't welcome me here. I should leave now." As he said this, he was about to pretend to leave again, but Sarah quickly stopped him. "Aren't you afraid of catching a cold if you go out right after taking a shower?" "I'm not unwelcome. I'm the one who's superfluous. You can stay. Here, I'm leaving." I took the luggage out of the room and walked straight to the door. Seeing this, Sarah's face turned ugly and she stepped forward to stop me. "David, what are you doing? I knew you were acting so calm today when you came home. What's your scheme this time?" I smiled subtly in my heart and was too lazy to guess what kind of image I was in Sarah's eyes after someone's instigation. I just looked at Sarah calmly, my tone without any waves. "There's no scheme. Sarah, pay attention to your email. I'll send you the divorce agreement. You want to divorce me?" To my surprise, Sarah didn't become furious after hearing those words. Instead, she frowned, and her expression seemed to have a hint of doubt. "David, you have no reason to divorce me. I just took care of Kevin, and I even treated him like a younger brother. Besides that, I can only think that you don't love me and have no feelings for me. Think what you want, I'm determined to get a divorce." I didn't even give her a look. It was meaningless to argue at this time. My attitude changed Sarah's expression slightly. At first, she thought I was acting like before, but now she realized that I was serious. She subconsciously stepped forward and grabbed me. "David, stop it, let's talk nicely." I shook off her arm, a look of strong disgust flashing between my eyebrows. "Don't touch me." After saying that, I turned around and left. Sarah stumbled from my push and also got angry, yelling behind me, "David, where can you go if you leave me? Are you going back to your home? Don't forget, you've already broken up with your home. Come back here." Did I agree to our divorce? I turned a deaf ear, went out, and drove straight to the company. After packing up my desk, I went to Human Resources and submitted my resignation. "David, are you sure you're resigning?" The person in charge of Human Resources looked at my expressionless face and guessed what had happened, and tentatively opened his mouth while holding the form. Yes. I understood her doubts. After all, everyone in the company knew that I was Sarah, the chairman's husband. Although she had always been fair in public and private, there were inevitably some private discussions. Sure enough, The person in charge of human resources showed a look of embarrassment. I can't decide this. Why don't you wait for Sarah to come back? No need, my position doesn't require her signature to approve it. Just go through the process. Sarah founded this company 5 years ago, and I was a member of this company. At that time, the company only had 12 people, and I had to be a technician and run errands to handle business. It was really busy for a long time. But after the company became successful in the past 2 years, Sarah actually kept me in this entry-level position, earning the most basic salary, which was even less than the salary of Kevin, a personal assistant. The person in charge of human resources was helpless. My position did not require the signature of someone at the chairman level according to the regulations. She sighed and signed, probably just thinking that Sarah's anger wouldn't burn her later. I went back to my workstation and picked up the cardboard box. Before leaving, I saw my colleagues looking at me with sympathetic eyes and suppressing their whispers. Is he leaving? I really like David. He taught me how to run business when I first came here. Isn't it because of Sarah's recent personal assistant? She's really a bit too. I listened to those words, my expression not changing at all. As soon as I left the company building, I saw Sarah and Kevin coming together. She saw me holding the cardboard box and immediately got angry. David, when are you going to stop making trouble? Do you want to leave me that much? You're even resigning from the company? David, calm down. I heard that you've been working at this company for many years. Don't be too impulsive. FAC. Kevin's persuasion, which was only adding fuel to the fire, I ignored him directly and didn't even give him a look. Seeing me like this, Sarah took several deep breaths to suppress her anger. Okay. You're determined to divorce me, right? Then let's divorce. I'll sign the divorce agreement right away. David, don't regret it. Hearing this, I stopped and finally had a little reaction. Since you're signing, let's go to City Hall this afternoon. That afternoon, Sarah and I successfully completed the procedures. She was obviously still angry and left directly with Kevin. I was too lazy to talk to her and was just glad that the divorce was so quick. Standing at the entrance of City Hall, I took a deep breath and took out my phone to dial a number that I hadn't dialed a few times in 3 years. After 2 rings, a slightly dignified voice answered, his tone a little surprised. Hello? David? I pursed my lips, then said in a hoarse voice. Dad, Mom, I want to go home. My dad was stunned on the other end of the phone for what felt like years before he snorted coldly. Dad? You still know how to call me Dad. You can still remember this home. David, I'm telling you, this home isn't a place you can come and go as you please. I raised you so much. You answered my phone so quickly and still remember my number. Dad, you still want me to call back, don't you? After these years of setbacks, I realized that my dad, who was tough on the outside but soft on the inside, didn't really hate me that much. My dad was about to deny it when my mom took the phone from him. She choked up and said with relief, David, it's good that you want to come back. When are you coming home? Don't listen to your dad, his eyes are red too, he's just saying that, he actually misses you too. Hearing my mom's voice, I felt a little heartache and couldn't help but feel sorry for them. They sent me to a prestigious university, originally wanting me to go back and work for my family, preferably to take over the family business, and marry a wife that I liked and that would help the family business, but I broke up with my family directly because of Sarah and the arranged marriage. I was with Sarah for 5 years and married for 3 years, and I didn't ask them for a penny again. Fortunately, it was only 3 years, and it's better late than never. That day, I drove straight home. When I parked the car in the garage, I looked at the sports cars and SUVs in my garage and realized that the car I had saved up to buy at work couldn't even compare to the wheels of the other cars. The butler took my suitcase. After a few years, I returned to the Davis estate again. When I entered the house, my parents were already waiting for me at the dining table. Although my dad wasn't very friendly when he saw me, the dishes on the table were all my favorite. My mom greeted me, her eyes red as she held my face. She had obviously been crying secretly just now. You've lost weight, you've suffered these years. Before I could answer, my dad said unhappily, "That's all his own choice. Sarah didn't come back with you? No one in my family recognizes her as a daughter-in-law and she doesn't even come to see me. She's really something." When my dad said this, I realized that I hadn't told them about the divorce. I just said I wanted to go home, and my parents were even prepared to accept Sarah into the family. They didn't come to our wedding back then, but now they can let her into the family for my sake. I didn't say anything for a moment. My parents were very shrewd and could tell at a glance that Sarah and I were probably over. My dad's expression softened for a moment, and then he said, "It's okay if she didn't come. Since you're done, I'll also withdraw those collaborations with Sarah's company." "Dad, you..." I looked at my dad in surprise. My mom smiled at this time and patted my shoulder. You don't think your dad was really so heartless when he said he was breaking off relations with you back then, do you? He's been paying attention to Miss Sarah's company all these years. The last time the stock market fluctuated, our family secretly helped her, so that small company wouldn't capsize. After my mom explained this, I realized that they had been paying attention to me all along. Sarah's company had been smooth sailing these years, and every time there was a crisis, it could be turned into safety because my family was secretly helping her. "Dad, why didn't you tell me earlier?" I sighed deeply. After my dad explained it, his face suddenly became a little unnatural, and he deliberately cleared his throat. "What else could I do? I'm your father. Can I let you live with her like that? You're a troublemaker. I'm telling you, it's okay to break up now. At the banquet in 2 days, you'll go out and meet people as the eldest son of the Davis family. People who don't know will think something happened to my son." I didn't dare to disobey, so I had to agree. After all, what I thought was my hard work these years was actually eating at my family's expense. "Yes, David, go to that banquet in 2 days. You had a good friend when you were a kid. What was her name, Rachel? She's also back in the country recently and said she wanted to see you a few days ago. You two can catch up." After my mom said this, I realized their purpose today. Although I didn't have this intention now, there was no need to start a conflict because of this since I had just returned home. Just treat it as catching up with an old friend. The banquet was held on a grand scale. It was originally just an ordinary banquet, but because I came back, my dad specially chose the Grand Metropolitan Hotel in the city, just to let those business partners see that the eldest son of the Davis family had returned. And Rachel was unexpectedly lively and talkative, and she had become even more beautiful. "David, you don't remember me, do you? You said you were going to marry me when you were a kid." We laughed for a long time because of this sentence. Sure enough, good friends don't fade because of time and distance, and we had a very pleasant conversation in the end. When I came out of the restroom in the middle of the banquet, I saw Sarah with red eyes. "David, I really misjudged you. You can find a new love as soon as you get divorced, right? It's only been a few days." I was slightly stunned by her accusation and didn't expect her to come to this banquet. Her invitation shouldn't be enough to qualify her, but I didn't have the heart to think too much at this moment and just said coldly, "That's still better than you cheating." I had no desire to communicate with her and turned around to leave, but Sarah grabbed my arm. "Wait! What's your relationship with Mr. Guan? You both have the surname Guan. Is he some relative of yours?" Looking at her flustered face, I just felt that she was really naive. I didn't tell her about my family's situation back then because I was afraid she would worry and feel pressured. Sarah only knew that I had broken up with my family for her sake and knew that my family was well off, but she didn't associate Mr. Guan with me. My parents had never met her because they were very dissatisfied with her, so the few of them had never met or recognized each other by chance. "We have nothing to do with each other." I was unwilling to flaunt my family's banner in front of her, as if my family was bullying her. I turned around and wanted to leave, but the hand on my arm was very strong and didn't intend to let me leave. Sarah bit her lip, her expression a little ugly. "You're lying. I just saw you together just now. He introduced you to other executives and even straightened your suit collar for you. What's your relationship? David, did you ask Mr. Guan to withdraw the cooperation with my company?" Otherwise, how could our biggest client disagree to cooperate as soon as we got Diver said? Do you know how much effort I put into getting the invitation to this banquet to see Mr. Guan once? Hearing this, I didn't say anything, I just felt that she was extremely stupid. The answer was so obvious, but she didn't dare to believe it and was still doubting me. Seeing that I didn't say anything, Sarah became even more confident. I hope you don't destroy our win-win situation because of your emotions. Win-win? What a joke. A female voice suddenly interrupted her. Then I felt a lightness on my hand. Looking back, it was Rachel. She took my arm as a matter of course, deliberately looked at Sarah, and said deliberately, "You must be that Miss Gao, right? Excuse me for being blunt, but haven't you realized yet that for a group like the Davis family, the little money your company earns from cooperating with them can't be called a win-win at all, it can only be called poverty alleviation for small businesses. That little bit of a drop in the bucket is still thanks to the eldest son of the Davis family being in your company." Even though Sarah had a guess in her heart, she still took a step back subconsciously when Rachel said it so directly, unable to believe that I was the eldest son of the Davis family, and even those big orders that she was smug about these years were also Davis family collaborations. Her face was very ugly, and she wanted to say something more, but Rachel interrupted her. "You weren't invited to this banquet, did you use someone else's invitation?" I. Sarah wanted to refute, but she was taken away by the security guards Rachel called. When she was taken away, her face was suspicious and uncertain, and she wanted to talk to me. "David, listen to me, David." I ignored her and looked back at Rachel. She brushed her hair and smiled at me slyly. "I'm sorry, David, I heard everything just now. You have to be tough to deal with this kind of person. You're too much of a gentleman and she'll take advantage of you." I smiled wryly. ND nodded in agreement. The rest of the banquet went smoothly. My father introduced me to many partners, saying that I had gone abroad to study for the past few years and hadn't been able to show my face. Everyone praised me as a talented young man, and I shook hands and exchanged pleasantries with each of them. I just felt that if we hadn't met in college, someone like Sarah wouldn't even have the qualification to see me. I thought she wouldn't cause any more trouble, but who knew that after the banquet ended, I was stopped by Sarah on the way home. I don't know how she found out the location of the Davis estate or how she tricked the guards into letting her in. She probably still used my information. As soon as I parked the car, I saw her smiling forcefully and stepping forward. "David, why are you here?" I frowned and just felt a headache. She didn't answer my question directly, but lowered her posture and put on a deliberate look of flattery. "I came here today because I hope you can come back. David, I only realize now that the company can't function without you." "Can't function without me?" "I'm afraid it can't function without my father's cooperation." I sneered and just felt it was ridiculous. "What are you talking about, Sarah? I can't possibly go back. I feel disgusted when I see you and Kevin together. How can I go back?" I'll fire Kevin. I'll never have anything to do with him again." "David, please, come back." Sarah panicked and reached out to grab my hand, but I dodged it without showing any expression. "Save it, Sarah. Don't waste your energy. We're already divorced." No sooner had I said this than Sarah's tears began to fall, and within seconds she was a picture of heartbroken sorrow, choking out, "What about all the years we've been together?" "We've been together for 5 years. David, you can't do this to me. What will happen to my company if you leave?" Hearing her try to guilt-trip me like that, I was consumed with anger and I immediately snapped. "Sarah, you're the last person who should be talking about our years together. Where were you thinking about our years of affection when I almost died at that New Year's Eve party? Where were you when you were so busy siding with Kevin, never considering all the good I've done for you over the years?" Sarah, upon hearing this, was stunned, probably because she'd never seen me so angry with her. Tears still hung on her face, forgotten, and after a long pause, she finally choked out, "But Kevin really didn't mean to do it. He told me, Oh really? If he didn't mean to do it, why did he secretly switch the drinks? At this point, I don't care whether he meant to or not. If you want to know who's right and wrong, you can call the police station and let them decide. I rubbed my temples, feeling that I had already done Sarah a great kindness by not calling the police after the divorce. Sarah, hearing this, hesitated for a moment and then nodded with a look of determination. I believe Kevin, but if you insist, I will call the police station. If he didn't do it on purpose, David, you'll come back to me, and I'll keep my distance from Kevin from now on. To this, I remained non-committal, only telling her to call the police quickly and not waste time. When Sarah and I arrived at Kevin's door with the police, he opened the door and was taken aback, his face immediately filled with panic. What's going on? Sarah, David, I haven't done anything illegal lately, have I? Really? I retorted coldly, and before he could speak again, I continued, you haven't done anything? Then what happened to me last time at the hospital? As soon as I said this, Kevin's face turned ashen. The police quickly took him to the police station along with them and launched an investigation. The investigation results came out quickly because it was such an obvious murder attempt. The company's security camera footage showed Kevin specifically checking the label of cephalosporin after seeing me take the medicine. Then, during the party, he secretly switched the pineapple juice with beer, even glancing guiltily at the security camera in the corner. I suddenly remembered the reason he was so blatant. It seemed that a colleague had said that the security camera circuit in the company lobby was under maintenance on the day of the New Year's Eve party, so he didn't bother to conceal his intentions. Sarah was stunned by the police's account. You wanted to hurt David? In the interrogation room, Sarah questioned Kevin in disbelief. Kevin, after being interrogated by the police in shifts, no longer tried to defend himself as he had at the beginning. He looked up at Sarah, his face no longer showing the naivety and innocence of a recent college graduate, only viciousness and disdain, and he began to curse at Sarah. You idiot! Why did you call the police? I thought I could get away with it because of you, but you turned around and called the police on me. What were you thinking? You bitch! Sarah took a few steps back, looking at Kevin's true face in disbelief, and the two of them immediately started arguing. Then why did you tell me you didn't do it on purpose? If I didn't say that, would you have protected me? Don't you just like the way I act pitiful and call you older sister? Kevin, wearing handcuffs, relaxed now that his true colors were revealed. He leaned back in the interrogation chair, his eyes running up and down Sarah's body, and he let out a short snort from his nose. Don't you just want to sleep with me? What did you say? Sarah finally came out of the interrogation room in despair. She didn't seem to have recovered from what had just happened. It was said that they had argued until the end, and she had tried to hit him, but was pulled out by the police officers. At this point, I had nothing to say. I nodded to the police officer next to me. Well, I'll be going now, officer. Contact me anytime if you need me. After saying this, I turned around and hadn't taken 2 steps when Sarah hugged me from behind. She hugged me tightly, and I didn't want to make things too awkward for the moment, as there were police officers watching all around, so I could only sigh. Sarah, let me go. David, I was wrong. I really know I was wrong. Please, come back to me. I wronged you. It's all my fault. Sarah's voice choked, and her grip tightened. I have no reason to go back. Sarah, I find you disgusting. I said coldly, and slowly pulled her fingers away, finally breaking free from her embrace. Sarah let out a desperate wail and rushed in front of me in a panic, blocking my way. I didn't do anything that crossed the line with Kevin. Believe me. The only reason I took care of him was because he looks a lot like my high school sweetheart. If you don't believe me, look, I even brought a photo with me today. As she said this, she took out a photo that I had never seen before with a trembling hand to prove it to me. I looked on coldly, unmoved. This was not a reason for me to endure so much grievance. Sarah sobbed and made a promise to me. Please, come back to me, David. I will be twice as good to you. I'll make up for everything. It's too late, Sarah. I can never accept you again. From now on, let's just live our own lives and not contact each other again. I pushed her away without hesitation and walked out the door, leaving Sarah sobbing behind me. After that day, Sarah didn't give up so easily and even wanted to win me back with persistence. She even said that she would let her company go bankrupt, but nothing could stop her. I was speechless. My family couldn't do such unscrupulous things. It was just that we stopped cooperating with her company. The only reason we cooperated in the first place was because of my relationship with her. Otherwise, how could Sarah's company have climbed up to my family? Now that our relationship was over, the Davis family naturally had better partners to cooperate with. It was only natural that they would no longer cooperate with her company. Perhaps Sarah just thought that as long as I went back, my conditions could instantly allow her to rebuild the company, so making such a promise at this time was painless to her. And after her company lost the cooperation and support of my family, coupled with her lack of care in managing it, it didn't take long for it to be on its last legs and on the verge of bankruptcy. Sarah began waiting outside my home, not missing any opportunity to see me. She even made a scene at the Davis family's the company once, claiming to be the Davis family's daughter-in-law, and was eventually kicked out by the security guards. David, I'm telling you, you can't get rid of me. I won't give up on you. I really know I was wrong. What else do you want me to do? Before being taken away, Sarah looked at me with her eyes wide open, her entire eyes flashing with obsessive light. I was annoyed by this, so Rachel and I simply went abroad. After that, I never saw Sarah again. During this time, our relationship gradually deepened, and both families were very satisfied with our close relationship. Finally, I proposed to Rachel abroad. The wedding was exceptionally grand. Almost all the business magnates and media reporters came, and it was broadcast live domestically. Under everyone's blessings, I exchanged rings with Rachel and was incredibly happy. But the next time I heard about Sarah, it was news of her death. She committed suicide, not long after I held my wedding. Sarah saw the live broadcast of the grand wedding abroad on television, smashed the television like crazy, and was eventually complained about by her neighbors. She was taken to the police station and counseled for several days, seemingly returned home normally, but died in the living room the next day. She finally gave up, and after leaving a letter, she ended her life with cephalosporin and beer. Note: cephalosporin is a type of antibiotic. Mixing it with alcohol can cause severe adverse reactions. After returning home, I received the envelope from the police. I opened it and saw that it contained apologies and blessings, written very briefly. I'm sorry, David. I was wrong in the past. I hope you can be happy. Happy wedding. If there is a next life, let me chase you. If there is a next life, let's not meet again, Sarah. After reading the letter, I had mixed feelings. After burning the letter, I said goodbye to the past completely.